The latest batch of college football playoff rankings is out, and 5 Big 12 teams are in. Texas Tech coming in at number 5. BYU, kind of surprising here, coming in at number 11. Utah, led by Devin Dampier, and of course, Kyle Whittingham at number 12. Willie Fritz has Houston Frisky at number 23, and then a banged up Arizona State coming in at number 25. What jumps out to you, Eric, with the Big 12 actually getting some respect here, minus, I think, maybe BYU at 11?
Yeah, I definitely think getting some respect at least. And with a couple weeks left in the season, I think BYU certainly has a chance to bump their way up. To what stands out to me is that this is definitely a chance for this conference to have a 2-bid college football playoff this year. And for the Big 12, who of course only had 1 bid last year in Arizona State, I think that's a good step for the conference. Obviously, Texas Tech has been downright dominant, minus their loss to Arizona State this season. I'm fascinated by BYU. I've said this over and over again because I've never fully believed, but that TCU game is the first time I kind of started believing. They looked really damn good. And then Utah. If we're just going to talk about the top 3 in the conference, I wouldn't be surprised if any combination of Tech and the other 2 make it, because I feel like if Tech doesn't get in at this point, if they lose the Big 12 championship, I feel like they're getting an at-large bid.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm with you. I think at this point in the season, if Texas Tech wins out, which all indications are that they will, then win or loss in the Big 12 championship, Texas Tech is certified in the college football playoff. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. BYU is a very interesting case, right? Because we're sitting here talking about a team that ultimately they've got 1 loss on the year. In ultimately, like, it's to Texas Tech, right? Like, yeah. It's a good loss at this point in the season. It's the number 5 team in the country. So for BYU to sit at number 11, I understand kind of why that fan base is a little riled up about not necessarily getting top 10 love. BYU, though, again, I'm kind of with you. I've been waiting for them to kind of choke this away, kind of like just fumble the season away like they did in 2024. They've yet to do that, although this Saturday against Cincinnati is shaping up to be a very, very interesting contest. That game, in terms of like betting odds, is I believe BYU's a favorite, but not by much. I'm with you. I expected them to lose to TCU. They came out and absolutely beat the brakes off of TCU. So we'll see. But BYU at this point in the season has given, I don't think any reason to doubt them. In all honesty, regardless of having a relatively young quarterback in Bear Bachmeier, after losing Retzloff in the offseason, I mean, BYU at this point has taken care of business. Utah's another really interesting one that I think at this time of year, you don't want to play Utah. I don't care what conference you're in. You do not want to see the Utes right now. Kyle Whittingham has his team like executing on at all phases here: offense, defense, special teams.
You don't want to see Bird Ficklin.
No, nobody wants to see Bird Ficklin. Bird Ficklin and Devin Dampier. I mean, that's a scary one too at quarterback. You don't want to see it. And then Houston at number 23, I think is really interesting that they're still in there after that loss to West Virginia a couple weeks back. But again, the Big 12 getting respect there, and then the Sun Devils coming in at number 25. I'm gonna be honest. I know this is a solid team. Again, 7-3. I just didn't expect to have that logo pop up last night at number 25, man.
Yeah, it was definitely a surprise. To be in this position and where they are, to be at number 25 is very impressive, especially considering the injuries that they've had to overcome, the couple of losses they've had. I think it's just, this is real ball knowers, right? And also, not just the fact that ASU is 25, it's that there are a couple other Big 12 teams that realistically have an argument to be around there. So to favor Arizona State over a Cincinnati, who obviously lost this weekend, but has had a very good season under Brendan Sorsby. Of course, University of Arizona, who did beat Cincinnati this past weekend as well. Those are 2 teams that I do believe are vying for around that spot as well. And for them to give it to Arizona State with their backup quarterback, without their star wide receiver, who's likely going top 5 in this year's NFL draft, without their best offensive lineman, without, a starting safety as well. I mean, that is a big testament to how deep this team and how resilient this team is. I'm a little surprised at Houston at number 23, considering they lost to West Virginia and then followed that up with a 3-point win against UCF, who is just not good. But at the end of the day, Houston has still been one of the bigger surprises this season. So it's fun to have so many good teams in the Big 12, Totri. It's shaping up to be a very exciting couple of weeks of football to end it out here. A couple of teams still have a shot to make it to the Big 12 championship. And whoever doesn't, I think still will have an argument to possibly get an at-large bid. That is a better spot than where the conference was last year. You've got to be pretty happy about it if you're Brett Yormark and company and just everybody in the Big 12 for what the state of football is in this conference in year 2 after the massive realignment.
Absolutely. Again, 5 Big 12 teams finding themselves in the latest batch of college football playoff rankings. Arizona State at 25, Houston at 23, Utah at 12, BYU at 11, and Texas Tech at 5. Let us know, what do you guys think of the respect or maybe lack thereof that the Big 12 is getting from the college football playoff rankings? And of course, we'll see you next week when the newest batch of rankings comes out.